Good morning, everyone. Let's look at your markets for today. Look at the economic calendar first. We've got the industrial production coming out for Germany in about an hour. That might not affect the market. It is very early. It's about 2 hours pre-market. So I don't think we'll actually see some volume from this. Then on the pound, we've got the house price indexes coming out. We could potentially see some movement from that. And then labor productivity as well. And then on the euro, specifically the German 10-year Bund auction, that could definitely give us some volume on the euro. And then Christine Lagarde speaking yet again. So that'll definitely move the market one direction or another. We have the Ivy Business School's Purchasing Managers Index coming out on the loonie. That'll definitely give us some volume. But also, crude oil inventories on the US could affect the loonie as an oil producing country. So these two together would probably potentially give us movement on the dollar CAD or any CAD pair for that matter. So I'm looking forward to seeing some actual volume on that. Then we've got a few members speaking, but more importantly, we've got the FOMC statement, meeting minutes coming out. That'll definitely move the markets. And an hour prior to that, we've got the 10-year note auction. Also definitely going to move the markets one direction or another. So these are some things to keep an eye on. These speeches might not be as important, but the statement and meeting minutes definitely. And then if you want to trade the loonie, there's going to be some oil data. And then Christine Lagarde on the euro, definitely need to watch out for the euro one. On the indices, we've got the S&P down 1.4%. The DAX and the euro is slightly up, but mostly neutral. The FTSE is neutral as well. And then the Russell is neutral as well. We've got commodities, gold down 1.16% and silver down 1.7%. Well, it's shifting, but you get the picture. And then everything in the Forex is as neutral as you can get. So yeah, everything's pretty neutral at the moment. This is good for us. It means we can focus on technicals. There's no specific sentiment. So I'm happy with that. Just as another confirmation, we'll look at that in a second, but it's not on the blog at the moment, but let's turn to the charts and we'll discuss it. The Tropical Storm Delta has now been confirmed as a hurricane, as I predicted it. Or well, didn't predict, but we knew it was going to happen. It was predicted by the weather services, and they confirmed it was going to be a Category 4. So while the dollar CAD strengthened, I don't think the markets took this into consideration. And in the bigger picture, I think we're definitely going to see it return to these levels that I predicted. So I'm scaling in every time I've got a higher price. I'll obviously scale in and add to it because I expect a big move coming to the downside. We do have a channel forming at the moment. Now we can either do it this way. No, that's not a good way to do it. Let's undo that. Let's do it this way. This will be our channel forming. So definitely keep an eye on that. So tropical storm is no longer a tropical storm. It's been confirmed as a hurricane about 4 hours ago. So that'll be Hurricane Delta now. And obviously it's still heading to the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to land in Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane, which is quite intense. You have to feel for the people in Louisiana based on that, because they haven't even recovered from the previous one. I think it was Hurricane Laura that hit them in August. They haven't even recovered from that yet, and now they're getting hit by another one. So I really feel for them, but it's one of those things, force majeuris. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. I'm scaling in every chance I get on this to keep going lower, lower, lower. Eventually for this price, we should see a pretty decent move there. I want to change this from there to there. And there we go. Because it's going to be a much more intense move once it starts to the downside. You know, the gradient is going to be more intense. It's going to follow the channel. So that's what I'm looking to see. Actually, I have to put it there. Close that. There we go. That's my prediction now. So it's even better if you can get in now. That's an even better price than it was down here. So definitely need to look into getting in there. I'm gonna add to it again at some point somewhere here. But for now, I've got a few positions open. I'm happy with them. And with the prediction as well, the 50 SMA held as resistance together with that resistance line. So definitely happy with that. So I'm scaling into the downside. We'll have a quick look at silver. They are calling this a bear flag continuation pattern. So I don't necessarily agree with it, because if you look at this, I mean, yeah, it could be. If you look at this, it's a breakout, so breakout to the downside, but it's bounced off this resistance support line. Sorry, it was a resistance line over there. Now it's a support line. It's bounced off it, so I don't know if it's going to be a continuation or just sideways move now, ranging sideways. But you know, what do I know? We'll see. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. And then on gold, another trend line holding, and this is the long-term trend line. So if we zoom out of this, remember this little triangle we had? That's long-term. So for me, this is a push to the upside. Well, at least back to median. You know, it's been struggling with this triangle for ages, and obviously, you know, it's bounced off the bottom now, so it's going to look to go back to median, potentially bounce off this line. But if you had a decent indicator showing you this move coming, then you could have made a lot of profit from that. I had a pretty decent day yesterday. Some of my calls didn't go in my favor, but some of them did. So I had a pretty decent day yesterday, so I'm happy. But you need to get an indicator that's predictive, like this one, so that you can profit from these big moves. Okay, USDCAD. If you see it bouncing off this line, you have to kind of expect a potential reversal. Yeah, so that's moving up, but you know, if you've got an equidistance channel in there, making it really hard, these crazy price spikes, making it really hard to actually get a decent channel going. But there we go. That's basically it for me. So pushing back the upside. When it gets there, I'll go short. Aussie, Swissy, that looks like a rebound. So you could potentially see it move back up, or again just return to the channel and then push down further. Same thing on the Aussie yen. You know, this is a pretty obvious channel forming. So this isn't the one. Just change that back to 1. deviation of 1. There we go. Pretty obvious channel forming. So for me, I can't go long until we see a proper breakout. Not a breakout of the channel necessarily, but definitely a breakout of the trend. Yeah, we'll do it. It needs to touch 3, but it's really difficult. Something like that. So yeah, I mean, I can't really touch it here in no man's land. Aussie Kiwi. This looks to be ranging, to be honest. I'm not sure I would enter a trade just yet. Maybe wait for it to give us a clearer indication of what it wants to do. This 50 line has been a thorn in my side because it keeps coming back to it. So, that's definitely ranging. I had these thick lines in yesterday and I said, it's ranging between them. That hasn't changed. It tried to break through it, but obviously it just reversed on itself again and went back. So, can't really trade that. And then this one, it looks to be a drawback on the overall downtrend, just like the others, same thing. So you want the drawback to enter a price or a level where you know it's safe to go short. So if you potentially draw a trend line in there, wait for it to touch it and then short it. Then Euro Aussie, it's just the reverse of the Aussie dollar. It's just an opposite, mirror image basically of the other one. So again, wait for the retrace to finish, and once you've got the retrace. So if you don't know how to measure a retrace, you just add a Fibonacci. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, let me just retry clicking the right thing there. Fibonacci retracement, wait for it to hit the 35 potentially, and then the 50. This for me is a go long position. Definitely a go long position. It's Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Elliott wave, long-term trend line, short-term trend line, very huge confluence. So definitely go long if you have that. It's also a recently respected support level and resistance level. So that point for me is a definite buy point. Definitely go long if it does touch that. I don't know if it will. It'll probably reverse over here already. But if it does touch that point, then I'll go long. Okay, Euro Swissy. I mean, it's choppy, but it's overall down. So I could potentially see it being traded. No, not there. And let's do an equidistance one instead. Do it this way. It's probably better. Like that. Something like that. This is a very extreme move. I'm not happy with it at the moment, but it's supposed to be like that. So we could potentially see this go short. But Christine Lagarde is speaking later today. That could give us volume to push it through this trend line, and if it does go long. Euro pound. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that it made the move a lot faster than my angle did, but I did say yesterday when I predicted the move up to this level, I did say that Christine Lagarde is speaking and that could give us the volume to make it a quick push up. So I did predict that it could do this instead of doing that. But either way, I got the level I wanted, so happy with that. Euro yen, as you can see, we're in a retrace from that position. We're in an overall channel now. So for me, this level, I want to show you. If you take a point from, oh no, what am I doing? Sorry. From there to there, and then do this. Just ray it. Bam. Oh no, it didn't work perfectly. Yeah, something like that. It kind of respected that both to the downside and to the upside. So, I mean, interesting that those 2 points would set the trend for the entire channel. It's something I want to look into and see if, a triangle reversal breakout could potentially set trends for channels in the future. It's not something I've spent a lot of time with, but it is something I want to look into. But either way, I made that prediction and now it's retraced from that. This is about a 50% retrace. So let's see. 50%, yeah, exactly 50% retrace. So we should potentially see this go long again. Just like this one. No, this one's at median again, so it's not a good place because it's in the reversal, in the retrace still. I think this one's done retracing. This one is the one I'd rather go long in. So I could definitely see myself adding to this. We'll wait for the next candle confirmation, but I don't like trading against my own indicators. But it is at price. Price action always beats an indicator. So I could potentially go long on this. I just want to get in at a better price. Maybe if it comes back to this trend line, then I'll go long. Euro dollar is, what is it doing? I mean, we've had two breakouts that worked out well for us. At the moment, it looks like a miniature flag. So very, 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 very tiny flag. Very tiny flag. I don't know what to do with this, to be honest. I mean, don't take this as gospel. For me, this is not something that's an indication, but what it is for me is a little scoop, cup and handle formation. So that's usually a continuation. It's the same as a flag pattern. It's usually a continuation, but sometimes it is reversal. So you do have to bear that in mind. So I think what I would do is, if I had to decide on a specific trade here, I would do this. Do a breakout box. If it goes outside this box, follow the momentum. It's as easy as it can be. Same thing on the pound dollar one. We'll do the same thing here. This is more of a triangle. It's kind of respecting the triangle shape much more than the other one did. So see that? It's respecting that upside down flag formation a lot more. So as we know, it's usually a continuation pattern, but I've seen it be a reversal pattern. So wait for the breakout and then just follow the momentum. Same thing. This is pretty much moving up at the moment, but it's probably just retracing. Actually, speaking of retracing, this still needs to retrace. And it's a big move. So let's add, oops. Just remove it and try again. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it still needs to get back to this level, at least 38.2. That's where we want to see it. So if it is breaking out, it could just be a retrace, so be cautious. Then Kiwi dollar, yeah, same thing. They all look the same to me. And then dollar Swissy, we've got a bigger channel forming. Bigger channel forming there, so something to keep an eye on. The dollar is strengthening at the moment, even though stimulus talks are completely halted. Well, that's probably why. Safe haven dollar is where people flock their money to when they don't know what else to do. It's either going to be in the dollar or in gold. So those are your two safe havens, but they oppose each other. So It's never easy to predict which one they're going to put their money in, but I think for now we've seen the dollar strengthening, but it's at key levels where it could potentially turn around. So I mean, the same thing on the dollar CAD. That price where it is now, for me, it's a pretty decent indication that we've got to go short here. And then if you look at this, that's a channel, so I've got the same indication there. Not just that channel, but also this. So this one's on the wrong point, it needs to be on the red. There we go, that's better. And it touches it perfectly there. So if it does break this, I think we could potentially see it go long. So wait for the breakout or trade the momentum to the downside. This one I just won't touch. It's going to touch the top again, so really not worth mentioning. Yeah, that's it for my video today. As I said, I'm scaling in on this because Hurricane Delta is approaching as a category 4 the Gulf of Mexico. So for me, push to the downside. It could only potentially move to there, but I'm hoping it moves to there. I've got to take profit level 1 there. If it goes past it, I'll break even at this take profit level. Add my stop loss or shift my stop loss to this level and hope it makes it to that level. If it doesn't, then at least I'll take profit, at that level on all of my trades. That's fine too. But we'll see. I think it's going to hit this level. If it's a big enough push to the downside, we should see it hit that level. Yeah, I mean, so that's it for today's video. Hope it helps. Good luck and enjoy.